Look, I'm going to be the first guy in the line to critique AI data centers. I'm not a big fan of AI data centers because they're taking all the RAM, they're taking all the resources, all the power, polluting the world and that to put all our data in the cloud. You can get around that with local AI. This here is an MSI Cubi NUC Plus. They have a Cubi NUC and this is the Cubi NUC Plus. This one is focused on doing local AI, which is where we actually should be focusing. This here comes with a Lunar Lake CPU, an incredible CPU from Intel. They're finally back making really, really good stuff. That offers excellent efficiency. It's also going to offer a very good NPU setup where you're going to be able to do good quality AI type computing here, especially for like business level work. Like I'm not talking calculating like the heat death of the universe kind of stuff. I'm talking about doing compute on this thing that is going to accelerate your business and your professional task, or if you're a student, accelerate your learning. Very good. It also does come with that, the Lunar Lake chip does also come with that 140V iGPU, which is a fantastic iGPU. It's basically top in class for professional type work. So if you're doing video editing, that kind of stuff, it's going to fly with those Intel drivers. And then of course, when you're using it for other stuff like engineering type stuff, it is very capable. It's the same iGPU that you find in some of these Lunar Lake gaming handhelds. Perhaps the most important thing though, is it's from MSI. I will expose my hand. I buy primarily MSI products for my personal desktop. I have an Intel-based desktop and an AMD-based desktop for different purposes. They are both based on MSI products. Obviously, the CPUs aren't. That doesn't even make sense. But the motherboards are MSI. The cooler on one is at least MSI. Power supplies, always MSI. GPUs, if it's possible, is always MSI. Because I trust MSI. They have best-in-class warranty support. They have best-in-class products, at least in their desktop segment. So when you're moving that type of information over here to a mini PC that's being then marketed to professionals, students, people who want something like this that's going to facilitate running their business or learning, you don't want to play around with nonsense. You're getting that MSI quality. Okay, and here it is. The MSI Cubi NUC Plus. I reviewed the Cubi NUC Not Plus, which was also fantastic. The Plus adds some benefit, one of those benefits being extra AI features. Ooh. So having a look at here, the exterior, nice, clean, simple little package there. Post-consumer recycled materials. Over here, that's your Kensington lock slide, I suppose I'd call that. This is your powery thing. You take that out and we're going to plug this in here after. This is your power. So, you can go like that, come home from work, pop that in there. Take footage, if you're a photographer or something like that, do your work, take that out, put it in. Very good. Test that out. You have two fast ports on the front here. Those are 10 gigabit, as you can see right there. One of the things that MSI pushes on this is they want this to be like a professional level workstation. So the fact that you can lock the machine, walk away, and people can't come in, like just say they scoped your password or something like that. They can't necessarily get into your machine. You can lock it like that. On the back here, we get more fast storage. So we get a couple here, Thunderbolts, you can see, Thunderbolt 1, Thunderbolt 2. Nice fast ports there. Two slow ports, and these are going to be for my dongles, this kind of stuff here. Right, plug that in. Mouse and keyboard kind of stuff, we'll do that after. HDMI out, power link meaning it can power, when you turn on your television, when you turn on your monitor, the power of the monitor can actually turn on the mini PCs. Of course, dual Ethernet out. How am I going to reach this thing if it's behind the monitor? Well, you have things like this here. So you have a power device here where you can press this button here. Ooh, that's a nice click. Incredible sound. And yeah, you can use that to turn on your power. Okay, so that comes off. This is metal, of course, because they want you to be able to mount this. You can see there's two mounting brackets right there. Let's get that all the way out. So they want you to be able to mount this underneath your monitor. That's your speaker there. So you're going to get audio out of that. Very good. Plug that in back in a minute. So underneath here, we have so there's some foam there. Just keep some structure. NVMe enclosure, an NVMe slot here. There we go. Heatsink on it. Again, you're potentially going to be using this for professional work, so you're going to want to have good cooling. Very cool. So that's good. That'll keep that nice and cool. Very good. We have upgradable Wi-Fi there. Very good. And we have a nice big fan under there, big heat sink. It's got a lot of weight to it. I can feel the amount of copper in there. I don't want to take this and break it out, take it out and break it because it's a, it's a loaner. So dual Thunderbolt 4. And the nice thing about Thunderbolt 4 is that you can massively expand storage, right? So yeah, you don't have a ton of storage inside of the device here, but with dual Thunderbolt 4, you can run, for example, a dock like this here. This is a port style dock. So you're able to turn this into something that's going to be more akin to, a full desktop type PC in terms of ports. And then of course, you're going to have something like this here. You can hook up an NVMe enclosure, whatever brand you want, or a hard drive enclosure, and massively increase your storage, right? I use a desktop PC. Talk about a time jump. It's a time jump, massive time jump. I've just been playing with the mini PC. So you can see there, nice clean little package set up over there. I do have a little eGPU that I'm going to test out with this. You don't have to, specifically because it has USB 4, we can do that. So let's jump in real quick to just some of the results that I have here. And we'll do a little bit of live testing too. I like to do mini PCs with live testing. I don't know why, I just do. So CPU is the Intel Core Ultra 7 258V. That is a Lunar Lake chip, Intel Lunar Lake chip. It's an awesome chip. The reason is it has 8 cores, doesn't have hyper-threading, so it's not going to be the biggest CPU beast in terms of just like raw CPU compute, I don't know, code compile. It'll still do it. It's still going to give you good scores, 10,000, 11,000 in Cinebench. So it's still fast, but it's not going to beat out with, for example, an Arrow Lake. It's just not what it's meant to do. But what it does have is a very, very capable iGPU, 140V GPU. Interestingly, I just reviewed the MSI Claw. If you watch my review of the MSI Claw, it has the same CPU and the same GPU. So this thing will perform in gaming the same as a MSI Claw. I will show it in this video. It's not really what the mini PC is designed for. It's not its primary focus, but I do want to show what the iGPU can do. So I am going to do a little gaming in this video as well. Everyone likes to game. Spoiler. But anyways, so we'll test that out here. But also I just want to show you what the iGPU can do. It's good. Wi-Fi 6. I mean, it's looking all good here. Little Phison chip there. Very good. Now, I mean, we know that the AI stuff is obviously good for actual AI, like running models and LLMs and that kind of stuff. But there's lots of other stuff you can do here. Let me show you this, by the way. Watch this. Shuts down the computer. It's actually a really good idea. Because mini PCs, people who get mini PCs, they're often looking for obviously an all-in-one price solution. Obviously, they want to get something that's cost effective. Don't spend a fortune, buying big behemoth type systems. You can do that. You can buy, even from MSI, they have professional desktop type solutions, and they work and they're great, and they allow for a little bit more expandability and future proofing, that kind of stuff. But if you want something that's cost effective, small, easy, get it, set it on the desk, especially if you have multiple employees or if it's for yourself, this is an easy solution, right? You just grab it, you slap it there, it's good. And you may not want to have it set up like this. You may want to put it on the back of the monitor. It comes with mounting brackets, meaning you can't reach the buttons very easily. So then you can get something like this, right? Plug that in, and then you can press the power button. And the nice thing is because it has those fast ports, you'd be like, well, then I lose out on my ports. Remember in the intro I showed you something like this? You could get something like this here. There's so many options out there. This is just one of them. And just mount that right there. Put this on the back of the monitor, and you get all your ports right there, right? There's so many different ways you can think of this. This is the fun part of mini PCs. Other things you can do here, I mean, you do have your fingerprint scanner. That obviously will help you get into the system. One of the advantages of that, if you are using this in professional setting here, passwords, people can read passwords, right? You could put in a password and someone could look over your shoulder and read your password. Then you walk away, you go to the bathroom, and when you're gone, someone walks up, they pick up your keyboard, they press a couple buttons, and all of a sudden they are into your system, right? That's not ideal, obviously. If you have a fingerprint scanner, biometric login, because this is not a laptop, there's no webcam here, you use biometric login, that means that when you do that, you have that at a level of security, right? You lock your system, literally just lock it. I'm talking literally just lock. Just come in here and go. You don't have to shut it down. You just lock your system, walk away, and when you come back, password won't work. They use the biometric login, meaning it's safe and secure. And so here is where the value proposition is. I mean, you don't have to use it. You can if you want, but there are a lot of added benefits to Copilot. Sorry, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. This is the more advanced stuff. We'll do that in a second here, but I'm going to come in here. I'm going to show you some of the other cool stuff you can do here. Live captions. For me, this is particularly important. Now, I've taught university for many years. I'm not teaching right now, but I have taught for many, many years. I've also been a student for many, many years. I guess that those go hand in hand, do they not? Live captions are very important. Now, when I create a lecture, I do my best, especially nowadays in online, to add captions to a video. But it's a lot of work, I'll put it that way, and I can't always do it. Now imagine my students have like audio disability, like hearing loss or something, or there's language barriers, right? I have an accent, I have a way of speaking. Other people may not understand it. I also talk fast. So if you're on YouTube, you can slow down my videos. You can use translations, all that kind of stuff. What if we're not on YouTube? What if we're in real life? What if I'm giving you a lecture, right? I'm providing you guys with a lecture, and that lecture, I didn't add subtitles, or I didn't add anything like that, like translation. Well, with this here, you can overcome that. So you come in here, and you can do this with any video. So we're going to come in here. We're going to go set up live captions. Just takes a minute to get initialized. Look at this face. Downloading language files. And I'm going English here. You can pick other ones, like you can do change language. And what you can do here is you can do captions for something like that. So let's say you have access to a meeting, like a live meeting. It can be live or a pre-recorded meeting, lecture, whatever it is. And maybe you have a hard time keeping up with that person because they talk fast, they talk with an accent you don't understand, you have audio issues, so you have a hard time hearing them, or your learning style is not conducive to some dude just ripping out a lecture in 5 minutes, right? Like there's a reason why nowadays in 2025, 2026, we've realized that not everyone learns in the same way. Not everyone pays attention in the same way. We are at a level now where we're like, it's okay to be different, and there's advantages and disadvantages to that. And let's facilitate better experiences for everyone. People who are not normal, right? Like normal back in the day was like, I can sit in a lecture and hear anything and rip out everything in 5 seconds. And we realize now that that's like not common. Also, maybe you're just in an area we can't listen because it's too loud. You're in a library and you can't listen. Look at this, it's live. So you can, rather than YouTube, I do YouTube. YouTube will auto caption if I allow it. I can let it auto caption. Doesn't mean it's always right or wrong, but it does a decent job, enough to get the idea across. How are you gonna auto caption my presentation, right? Or if it's live, right? This is not live right now. This is re-recorded. But if it was live, if we were in a meeting, this actually works. It actually works, right? And it does a very good job. So you can, this is huge for meetings and that kind of stuff. You can have a meeting with someone, your boss, or a professional meeting. You're meeting with the CEO of MSI, right? And you sit that over there and you have your meeting, and this is the person talking to you, and you let that go through and you can read along as you're going. Now, other features you can do here with the MSI Cubi Plus, the Plus model here over the base model, is you can also do live translate. We don't have to do there's all kinds of stuff you can do. You can do live translate as well. So if this was in a different language, I'm speaking English and you're trying to translate to another language, you can have it do that as well. Of course, translation is not a perfect science. Like this is the reason why there are still human translators that, interpret things. But with AI, it's getting a lot better. It's not just, I'm plugging this into Google and hope for the best. And you're attending one of my lectures and you speak any other language other than English, and you're like, sure, I understand a bit of it, but I'm having a hard time keeping up with me as I talk fast and whatever. You can auto translate as you go. Other things you can do here, there is a recall feature as well. So you can come in here and you can go recall. Recall is a really cool feature in Windows. It does require a couple things. And what this does is it allows you to scrub back a timeline of your computer. Work that you've worked on, meetings that you've had, video files that you've worked on, documents that you've edited, all that kind of stuff. And here's one of the things that's important. It only will allow you to do this. Windows will only allow you to do this if you have a biometric login. So I can't do this on my gaming desktop. It's not possible. Biometric login meaning like a face unlock or a fingerprint, because it's obviously this is very sensitive data, right? You're potentially having to be able to go back and look at things you've done in the past. You do not want somebody to just be able to come in and just hack your password, like do it remotely or something, hack your password, look over your shoulder and hack your password. So, or guess your password. So, we're not letting it do that. So you do have to have a biometric login, fingerprint included as a result. That's the reason they have this here. Part of it is for safety and security in general, but part of it so that you can unlock this recall feature, because you can't do this unless you have a biometric login. So you create a password, you log in with your Microsoft account, which most people do anyways, and then you come in here and you set up a biometric login and you can go through recall and go back. Come in here and you can, so do documents. Now, again, I'm going to look at this as like a professional type setting, like students. So let's say you're a student here and you're thinking, okay, I need to come in here and do some work. I don't even know how to start my essay. Back in my day, I would tell people, I would use it, and I would tell my students, go use Wikipedia. Look at the textbook and all the readings, all that kind of crap. But you can look at the slides, get an idea, very basic idea, then go into Wikipedia, use Wikipedia as a starting jumping off point, right? You can do that with AI. You can say like summarize fits of AI in remote learning, right? And yeah, you shouldn't take everything at face value. You shouldn't take this and copy and paste this into an essay. Your professors will know, trust me. City learning. That's a pretty complex prompt, so we'll give it a second here. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good job. So okay, let's click this. Create. Oops. Oh, still going. Okay. Oh, we made a whole essay there. Holy crap. Right, so here's the thing, you can plug this in. It's not like you're not cheating by getting like a basic framework. You have to fill this in, and you're learning, you have to go out there and figure things out, but it helps facilitate learning. It helps facilitate learning. I'm not the biggest AI guy. You know me, I grew up with Terminator 2, right? Like robots gonna kill us all, maybe. But this is the place where AI should be. It should be for helping people in the medical field, professional work, like space travel, that kind of stuff, making society better and safer and advancing that kind of stuff, and also helping people learn. People who have learning barriers, or just people who are just accelerating that. It doesn't mean it's all accurate, doesn't mean it's all perfect, but yeah, you can just go on Wikipedia, you can read some papers, go in here and summarize it yourself, but this gets you in this footprint, it gets your foot in the door. That's what it is here, right? So you get your foot in the door, you're able to get started. How do I even start to think of this topic, even if I'm in a course, right? Or your boss asks you to do something, how do you even start? Right? Yeah, you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours reading every little bit of detail about this topic, and 80% of it is just garbage. You're just going to throw it to the side because it's useless. Or you can start with an outline, then use that to go do concentrated, precise research. Now I'm going to show you the best part for me. Now I grew up as a kid, long time ago, and there weren't that many games. One of the games that we used to play was Let's Draw in like Paint program, in like DOS or like early Windows or whatever, right? Like that's what I did for fun. This is sick. So we'll come in here, we'll go to Co-Creator, come in here, Copilot, Co-Creator. You can do Image Creator, we'll do that in a sec, but we'll go Co-Creator. So I'm going to put yellow, you have to tell it what kind of you're thinking here. You can change it later, but yellow duck in meadow near the water with a tree. Okay, just like that. Now it's not doing anything, as you can see here. We have to actually start drawing. So it sees it'll update as we go. Grass. There's a duck. It doesn't know what's going on yet. It takes a minute. Obviously, it's like it doesn't know what I'm doing. It doesn't understand my creative process. Okay, it'll know soon enough. Oh damn it! It figured it out. I really hope that was caught on film. Oh, it figured out it was a tree. It was like, kill me. So stupid. Oh, it's worth it. It's worth it just for that. There's a duck. It thinks it's a duck. Let's see if it makes it all mutilated again. Oh man. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Oh, I just love it so much. It's cute though. Okay, I'm gonna draw it doesn't know that I'm gonna draw the duck yet. So it's trying to be like, or maybe I'll draw the duck. Oh man. That was too much. Oops. No, don't do that. That's going to freak it out. It's got it now. It's figured it out. It's like, there's the duck. And I was like, yeah, you got it. You got it, bro. Oops. So, I mean, yeah, it's AI. It works. It just it doesn't know what's going on in my head. Once I put it down the canvas, it'll figure it out and be like, oh, okay, that's what you mean there. you say you have an idea, right? You're like, I need to like get this down on paper, and you're not artistic. No, you look at this artistic prowess that I have. You lack this. That's okay, right? You can put it down on paper like this here, and then yet let the AI help you, right? You're like, this is kind of where I want it to go. I've had many times in my family, like I'm joking. I actually used to do art type stuff, not on the computer. And I'd have people in my family be like, oh, can you like, help me produce this little thing here? And, I can kind of like, just sketch it out. They give me like a really crude idea what they want. And if they could do something like this, they could do it themselves, right? Like they can come out here and produce a little image like this, and, they can do that. Like they're the co-creator is the artiste, and, maybe they lack that, but they're able to then get their idea down on the canvas here. Cool stuff you could do with something like this. Like you can do a lot. This is pretty sick. This is actually pretty sick, right? It thinks that those are like reeds in the background because I suck. It still looks cool though. Figuring it out. And I can tell it, like it doesn't know what those are. So I'll put mountain in the background. Let's see if it figures it out. Boom, right? It didn't know what those were because I didn't tell it. I told it yellow duck in the meadow, and then I'm like, oh, there's trees in the background, or a mountain in the background. That might look a little better. Yeah, see, there it is better now. Mr. Ducky, you are so cute. Okay, so anyways, that's cool. It's actually sick. I mean, this, like I'm saying cool, but it's sick. I'm gonna actually play with this for so long. It's so sick. Anyways, image creator is the other option, right? So we can come like here, so we can put, I'm trying to make this complicated. So it's like, let's see if it gets the shorts there, the sunny, the boy and the girl, the mom, and the park. You can give it time. Obviously, this is a fairly complicated prompt here. So this is the first one, I suppose. All right, the girl and the... Cool. What's this one? Cool. Well done. She's not wearing shorts, but the kids are, because it might be my question. In pixel art. I mean, it's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, let's try again. Man holding MSI laptop in one hand and coffee in the other hand at a coffee shop. So while this generates, I mean, just think of the things you can do with this thing, right? So yeah, I know AI bad, take over world, yada yada, but this is where AI is good. This is the good part of it, right? You're able to get the... It's actually sick. It's actually sick. So you can use your creativity. You learn these things. You're able to facilitate. Like, not everyone can do art, right? Like, yeah, I'm kind of a jack of all trades kind of guy. I never got amazing at anything, but I'm kind of like, I like to dabble in everything. So it's fine. I can generate my own thumbnails. I can make my own little art type stuff. I certainly can't make this without this would take a long time. A lot of people can't. A lot of people can't do that, right? Maybe they're really, really, really good at coding, or really, really, really good at being on camera, or really, really good at being a CEO or a boss, but they can't do this kind of thing. And they don't, like, then you just want to rip something like this out real quick. It's able to facilitate better work. So you can do work better. You can get your ideas that are in your brain and put them down on a canvas more effectively. Or if you're in the case of, those like the learning type situations where you can use the AI to generate outlines, where you can use the AI to help with things like translations and captions, you can bring information off of the screen into your brain. I like this one though. I like Starbucks too. Look at this guy's bearded. And we'll just give you some of these benchmarks to just kind of see what we can get here. Then we're going to do a little bit of live testing, more for noise and stuff. The first thing I wanted to test here was the ports. Port selection is quite good on this little mini here, and fast. So, they did put on a couple slow ports for things like mouse and keyboard, which I'm using, but then otherwise you have nice fast ports. So we have the two USB in the front there. Both of them are 10 gigabit. That's very good because I use things like this little USB thing here, which you can use either, and I do most of my video transfers off of this, and it's 10 gigabit, so it's fast, right? You get very, very fast. That's twice as fast as a SATA SSD. Very good. Then we have the internal, of course, is fast. Obviously, it's a Gen 4 SSD, not a Gen 5 or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. So this will be a good compromise between thermals and that. Very good. And we also have the USB 4 in the back. We have two of them. So you can run, as I did in the intro, a little dock, get more ports, more peripherals if need be, hook up a hard drive, like hook up a dock that includes a hard drive if you need lots of storage, and you can get around some of the negatives associated with a large desktop PC. Go with a mini PC. I use mini PCs and I use desktops. I'm actually in the process of building a MSI desktop PC, but I also use minis as well. So it's nice, you know, they each have their own benefit. Minis have a nice clean little setup there, and you could always tuck, you know, like some peripherals behind there and you wouldn't even see them. You get a nice, very, very, very professional clean setup, especially if you mount the mini PC on the back of the monitor. You can get a nice little setup there. And having fast ports can be very good. Okay, ran some other benchmarks here. Of course, this is, I'm going to show you some stuff live as well. But you know, you can do lots of AI on this here. We'll do some we'll do some more basic AI stuff here, but I'll just show you, you know, you can run stuff like the Geekbench AI Pro. It's going to give you, it's very AI. I mean, this chip is in some ways designed specifically to do AI type work. It's obviously good for very, very low wattage power consumption type tests. But Intel has been focusing on professional stuff a lot. I have actually pivoted in my like mobile type solutions, laptops and all that kind of stuff towards Intel. That's just the way that I've done it recently. And one of those benefits is, I mean, efficiency, power consumption, all that kind of stuff, and high GPU, obviously, because I do video editing, but also as AI, honestly, like I don't do AI for running LLM models. Some people do, but I do use them in my video editing, which I'll show you a little bit of that here. So that's that there. Everything's looking good so far. Let's actually come in here. We'll just look at the Cinebench. We'll just look at the noise real quick here. Again, it's not a multi-core, multi-threaded beast. That would be more like the Arrow Lake H or Arrow Lake HX chips, right? It's just, or my desktop that I'm building right now with, actually I'm building two MSI desktops right now. I'm building an MSI ATX board system with a 265K Intel chip, which is awesome. And I'm also building an AMD ITX. For my professional work, I'm actually building a 265K based Intel machine with an MSI Mag Tomahawk. So there's my street cred. I like MSI, I buy it for myself. And Intel is very good for professional work. I've pivoted towards Intel. Sorry, AMD bros. I mean, I like AMD too, but I pivoted towards Intel for my professional work quite a bit. I just find it's great. Even iGPU stuff. I mean, I've been doing my video editing on current generation Intel stuff for some time. Thermals are nothing, 75. It's also, I mean, it's not going to get noisy. It's a small little mini PC with a Lunar Lake chip. Full bore, whatever the system can do, quiet. And this is also sitting right here, right? Put it on the back of the monitor, it'll be quieter. My noise floor is about 35 dB, so barely above that. You can hear it, but it's not noisy or annoying by any means. So in an office environment, it'll be fine. Again, it easily mounts to the back of the monitor, and it's kind of designed to that because it does have this external power thing. So right, it makes sense that you would want to do that. Wattages, like I said here, that the scores are exactly as you anticipate. So perfect. It's able to sustain, you know, 30-ish, 35 watts, which is Lunar Lake range. Doesn't benefit by adding more watts than that, so that's fine. And it's cool, like very cool. Okay, so I will show you, I use CyberLink. You can use whatever you want. You can use DaVinci Resolve, you can use Adobe, I don't know, whatever you use for video editing. I use CyberLink. I like it, and it works well. It's like a traditional video editor where it's like a traditional timeline, so I like it. So I got approximately 1 gigabyte, a 1.16 gigabyte file here. We'll throw this in here and I'll show you a couple things. So we'll put it in here. Okay, it's processed there. Bring it down here to the timeline. And it will process this video file quickly. This is like a 26 minute 4K 60 video, and we're already scrubbing through, right? Right, so it works very well. Again, this is a chip that I'm very comfortable with. I've used this a fair bit. It's also an MSI Claw, which I've been gaming on for some time. But for professional tasks, I've been gaming, and there's the audio fully processed. I've been doing all my video editing on Intel iGPU based systems, like for 8 months. Okay, we'll just make like I'll make like a little clip that's, I guess, I can't see what I'm doing here. That's reasonably short here. So double layer type stuff here. There's lots of AI stuff you can do in here, and it does actually work. If you don't have an AI capable chip, it won't work. It just doesn't give you the option of doing it. And they work well, right? So you don't necessarily need to have, for example, in this case, you can if you want, but you don't necessarily need, you know, like NVIDIA accelerated graphics for da-da-da-da-da. If you have the capable CPU with a capable iGPU, specifically with NPU, you're going to get a couple benefits. The CPU is going to help you with the video editing process here. The NPU is going to help you with AI-based enhancements. Audio is a big one for me because I get a lot of background noise. I don't do a lot of video enhancements, but you can, and I do it sometimes. For me, I do a lot of audio. I do a lot of audio type enhancements because I'll have noise in the background, denoising, wind removal, reverb is a big one for me. It does a good job. It's quick, right? It does a good job. You can do all this stuff here. It's downloading from the server. And the AI stuff makes it work very quickly. It's very nice. It's fast. Like it's already here. It runs at 30 watts. And so here's the thing that I was going to say here. Before this, I was using like kind of an intro level NPU iGPU up till about 6 months ago. The system was powerful and all that, but the NPU was not very good. It was kind of like a first generation where they just like slapped on a little bit of it. This type of stuff actually was fairly slow. I don't know. It just was slow. I guess we've seen great strides in NPU type processing AI capabilities of these chips, and this was all very, 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 very slow. Like it took forever to do this kind of stuff. Whereas here, I mean, it's going to be quick. This is, again, it'll take, I don't know, what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds to totally output this chip here. This stuff would be fairly slow. And again, this is not a beast. This is not some behemoth desktop, right? Like 285K setup with all that, and that's okay. The other thing that's very important here is that we have access to excellent encoding. Intel, if you know, then you know. If you don't know, then that's okay. Intel is top of the game now when it comes to video encoding. I've been using Intel, when Intel Arc A770 came out way back, I got into it and it was fantastic for video editing. And they've really made strides now, of course, in the desktop space, but also in these mobile chips. They are very good when it comes to video editing. They are fast and they are effective. So you come in here, right? I can set up different encoders. It does support AVI. This is HEVC. This is what I use. Come in here, you can do a 4K type 60 thing. Come in here and you get hardware level Intel Quick Sync. Very good. And this 140V, it's going to leverage both. So it's going to leverage the CPU, but it's also going to leverage the iGPU, the 140V, which is an excellent iGPU for things like video export. So the editing is done on the CPU. When you're doing AI type stuff, it will use both. You can do both of those things. And then when you're getting into the export, it's going to use the CPU and the iGPU. And we're not going to let this whole thing run, but it's fast. We'll put it that way. So I've been doing all of my video editing for the past 6 months. For my channel, which if you know my channel, you know I do a lot of it, and I've been doing all of it on an Intel Arc iGPU, current generation Intel Arc iGPU. Oh, that's actually fast. I lost my train of thought. Intel Arc iGPU. I guess, yeah, I use the 140T. This is the 140V. It's technically a better iGPU, so it's faster than mine. 2 tracks, 10 minutes, 4K 60, HEVC compression. So it's going to come out with a much smaller file size, 732. It's good. Conclusion time. It's fantastic. Build quality is excellent. Lots of ports on there. Dual USB 4 is, Thunderbolt 4 is nothing to be sneezed at. You get lots of fast ports on the front as well. You get the micro SD card, all the good portage for professionals. That's fantastic. For professionals, you get access to the biometric login there. That's very good for just security. But another thing about that biometric login there is it does allow you to use the more advanced AI features that are baked into Windows 11. I know people hate the word AI. I do too, but I'm not talking about local AI. I'm talking about, nobody likes the cloud type stuff, the data centers. That's some bullshit. When we're talking about localized AI, this is where you can get into something like this and really unlock productivity. Let's put it that way. So if you're a student, you're going to be able to put up captions, that kind of stuff, live captions, live translations. You're going to be able to help get the foundation of a paper you're working on, help get even like editing, that kind of stuff, where you don't necessarily, get all of this stuff just produced and just hand it in, but you are able to accelerate your workflow, make it work for you. Do it locally. You don't have to pay some company to buy into their AI bullshit. You just turn it on and you just use it because it has that ability. If you're doing video editing, of course, the iGPU in here is fantastic. CPU is great, but the iGPU is exceptionally good. It's kind of a preference for mine for doing iGPU-based editing. And then the NPUs in here as well will accelerate video editing type stuff using NPUs for AI type acceleration, denoising, enhancements, all that kind of stuff if you want to do that. Businesses, of course, it's going to be fantastic. You have the brand name behind it, which MSI is the brand name, honestly, for me. It's very good. So you're going to get the reliability, warranty, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But you're also going to then have a high quality machine to do what you potentially want, security features, and access to those AI features, local AI features, where you can take something like this and increase your productivity, right? Just massively increase your productivity. That's where we want AI to go. That's where I want AI to go, and that's where I promote it to go. And I think that's a great kind of invention or evolution where you can actually really enhance your productivity. So that's the MSI Cubi NUC Plus. This one is, I mean, it's a very good system overall. There's really nothing problematic about it. It's just if you're looking for something that does what this does, this is probably the one to grab.